guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Eileen from Makeup Eileen. If you're already subscribed to this channel, welcome back guys. So today's video, we're going to be doing the fails from 2021, products that didn't work out for me, that I didn't enjoy. This doesn't necessarily mean that they were bad products, this just means they didn't work for my skin or they weren't what I was expecting them to be. So let's jump right into this video. Okay, so in front of me I have a box of what I would consider fails of 2021. It's just products that I didn't enjoy, didn't live up to their hype, things like that. They're my own personal preference. It doesn't mean that they are bad products, it just means they didn't work for my skin tone or what I wanted them to do. So without further ado, let's start digging in this box. I'm just going to randomly pull stuff out. The first thing I have is the Maybelline Master Bronze and Highlighting Palette. It was just way too shiny for me. The color is also very warm for my skin tone, so I have given it quite a bit of times to try. I've used it quite a bit, but it's just, I think if it was more tanned it would work better for me, but it didn't suit my skin color, it didn't suit my type of skin because I have oilier skin, so it just made my face look like a greasy, shiny mess every time I wore it, like almost like a Tin Man. Then the second thing is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Erasing Primer. I found that it made my skin very oily, it didn't minimize my pores, it didn't help my foundation glide on my skin, it just made any foundation that I absolutely loved look crappy on my skin. It doesn't work for my type of skin. This is not to say that it is not a bad product. I do know people that absolutely love this product. For me, it just didn't work. Then another one that didn't work was the Smudge Extreme Lengthening Mascara. I just found the wand on this like very huge to get in the eyes, on my eyelashes, and it just didn't lengthen or volumize my eyelashes as much as I would like them, so it just was not a good look for me. It just didn't work well. It also irritated my eyes a little bit. And on the mascara train, I absolutely love Fable. You guys that have been with me this year know that I absolutely love everything on Fable, but the mascara just didn't do it for me. This applicator is a huge chunky applicator, and it doesn't have bristles all the way around the barrel. It's just got like four sides with bristles on. So to like get, I'll show you because I actually didn't put any mascara on, it just doesn't do much like you would want on a mascara. It just doesn't do what I want my mascaras to typically do. It is a very natural looking mascara, so if you're into a natural everyday, just your lashes just slightly darker look, it will work for you. It's just not my cup of tea. It also, the applicator is just really chunky and weird, and I prefer a smaller applicator wand. Okay, also product I normally love is the Smudge products, but the Smudge Natural Bronzing Powder, yeah. This little guy here, there's 3 together. I think you could swirl it or just use each little component separately. I just didn't like it. It doesn't blend nicely for me. It also just is way too shiny, and to like get your brush into just the matte or these like shimmer shades, just to me it's too much of a mission. You can get products out there that do it without all this hassle, so it was not a win for me. I did not like it at all. A foundation that I really didn't enjoy but had lots of high expectations for was the Avon Serum Foundation with SPF 30 in it. I did say in my review of this foundation that sunscreens typically burn my eyes. I have tested this out prior to that, and it just does not work on my skin. It leaves me very oily. It also irritates my skin, so I'll get breakouts after I've worn it, and it also just leaves my face feeling like a greasy mess, and it just melts throughout the day. So if you more on the dry side skin wise, it will probably work well for you, but it just doesn't do it for me at all. Then a very disappointing one is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This guy over here, I did enjoy it when I used it as a first impressions, but reaching back for it, it just left, it doesn't blend beautifully and give you a beautiful sun-kissed bronze look. It is a bit patchy and it takes a lot to blend into it, which is kind of disappointing because it is a nice big pan and it is very affordable, but you can get it to work if you want to spend the time blending it like a hot minute. It just, for me, it's not worth the hassle. I have a lot of bronzers and contours that just blend like a dream, so it was not a go for me at all. Then another disappointing foundation, which it's not a bad foundation. I do wear it and I would wear it again. It just isn't what it proclaims to be, so to me that is a fail, is the Fourier Foundation. It proclaims to be ultra cover, like super high coverage foundation, and it is not. It is a light to medium coverage foundation. It is pretty expensive for this tiny little bottle that you get. If it was waterproof, long lasting, mattifying, all the things that it proclaims online to be, then yes, it would be worth it. But because it doesn't live up to its reputation, to me it is a complete fail. Also, the shade range is not that great. They only have a few little selections of shade colors, and it is not waterproof, it is not mattifying, and it is not ultra full coverage foundation. So for me, it's a bit of a bleh product. I can get a better look with my Catrice foundation or my Essence Pretty Natural foundation, where is a lot cheaper than this guy over here. And also to go and have to order it in and not go in store and find your shade, it's just way too much of a mission for me personally. So I didn't really love it. Another one that I was kind of disappointed in, because everybody seems to rave about this concealer, is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I don't like the shade of this. This is the lightest shade that I could find in Discam. It is very peachy for my skin tone, and to me it makes my under eyes look darker and it doesn't brighten them up. If you maybe want to spot conceal or conceal dark marks or conceal under your foundation, it might work to give some extra coverage. Also just found it to be very like thick and gloopy. Hopefully it's not an old stock, but it just doesn't live up to its reputation that I have seen people rave about this to me. It's just, ugh. I prefer my Catrice True Skin concealer. This is just like thick butter on your skin. It doesn't glide nice. It's like very clumpy and gooey, like a gooey lip balm almost. To me, it doesn't also give full coverage under the eyes. It doesn't conceal like it should, in my opinion. Then while we're talking about face products, the Smudge Matte Finish Foundation Stick is nothing what it says on this guy over here. I like it for cream contouring with a darker shade or bronzing, and use a lighter shade as a concealer, but as a foundation stick it is not nice at all. It is not matte, it is not long wearing, it just doesn't do it for me. To me, the stick concept of it is a little bit unhygienic in my personal preference. I prefer a pump bottle, but that's just me. For it to be a matte foundation, you want it to kind of be matte. It is very full coverage, but it is not matte at all. It actually leaves my skin more dewy than the Catrice Hydrating Foundation with hyaluronic acid. So it's just not my favorite for a foundation, but it really works well to brighten up the under eyes, or if you get like a mahogany color, to give you a bit of a sun-kissed bronze, cream bronzer. That is how I use it, but not as a foundation. I'm not a fan of it as a foundation at all. Okay, something that I really love, and I'll tell you why it's in my fails bin, is because it dries my lips out like crazy. I'll wear it, apply it once, and it goes on feeling rich and moisturizing, and by the end of the day, when I remove my makeup, my lips feel like a dried up potato chip. It just feels like the Sahara Desert's butthole. It feels terrible, but I do love them and I do wear them, so it's a fail but not really a fail, if you want to put it that way, because I do use it. And that's the Essence, the Avon Ultra Color Lip Paint, and it's a hydrating matte lip paint. It goes on feeling like a lip oil, but it dries out your skin. I don't know what it is or why it does it, but it dries the crap out of my lips that I literally have to wear a lip mask and lip oils to rehydrate my lips, that if I don't do any treatment after wearing this, my lips actually crack open. So that is why it's in the fail, but I do wear it. But I do know what risk I'm taking when wearing it. So it's a nice lip shade, but what it makes your lips feel like afterwards, not that great at all. And then also the Smudge liquid long wearing matte lipsticks do the exact same thing. They're more drying on the lips when you apply them. They don't go on like an oil like the Avon's does, but it dries them out pretty bad as well. So it's just personal preference. If you don't mind your lips feeling like a Sahara Desert butthole afterwards, then by all means you might love them. To me, if I'm going to wear a lipstick, I don't want to have to do lip treatments after wearing a lipstick. It's not worth it for me, but I do it. I'm guilty of it. Another one that I just can't wrap my head around is the Smudge Radiant Royal Secrets Edition palette. Over here it says that it is eyeshadow, bronzer, highlighter and blush, and yes, I've used them and yes, it works, but I'll tell you why I don't like it. Looking at this, it just looks super confusing and just, I mean, look, what would you call a blush shade in here? It's got this waxy white wax, which I'm assuming is like an eyebrow wax, which to me is just too white to use on your eyebrows. It's got a shade in here that will be good for deeper toned skins as highlighters. The browns for your brows could work, but there's no real highlight or contour shade in here. I did use an eyeshadow palette and it is really pigmented like Smudge eyeshadow palettes are. I just think the pan layout and what it proclaims to be just doesn't speak my name. It's not a palette that I'm going to go, oh, I really need to use this palette again. I'll probably never use it again. Also, something I really wanted to love, but just couldn't get into, but maybe now that it's getting warmer, I might test it out again and we'll recap the end of this year what it's like. And this is the Luminizing Blush from Essence that came in the Advent calendar. It is a very pretty color, but it is super luminizing. That is what it looks like. It doesn't look super sparkly, but let me see if I can get it to show up. It is very shimmery, like highlighter shimmery, and I do not like a very luminous blush. So the color's gorgeous, but the shimmer just doesn't do it for me. So that's kind of a fail for me. Then to higher end palettes, I must admit I don't have lots of fails. I have quite a lot of hits this year or last year, and a fail for me is the Naughty Nude palette from Huda Beauty. I do not like this palette. I think I said in my review it's not my cup of tea. Let's see if I can open it up. It just really doesn't. These cream shades are like super pretty if you swatch them, but to me, if you apply them on your eyes, they just leave your like I was looking patchy and I could get like a better look. These pearl things, when it's hot where we are, it like they move around in the pan and I don't like that. But I mean, you can see there are pretty cream shadows. I don't really like cream shadows, but even the mattes weren't that impressive for me. For the price point of this palette, I think you could do better with a Smudge or a Fable or even a W7 eyeshadow palette. It just isn't worth the money, in my opinion. Something that I am extremely disappointed in and kind of annoyed at is the Jeffree Star, well, the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette. This guy over here. I love Jeffree Star, I love Morphe, I really wanted to love this palette, but it is very ugh, in my opinion. I was actually going to review this palette and did a few swatches, and I was like, there's no ways I'm reviewing this palette, it is really crap. The colors at the bottom here, which is the green Wake and Bake and Nate, I really wanted to love, but I don't know if it's just me, that is the payoff that I get. Even this darker, let's try a shimmer Welcome, which shimmers are normally like really nice, which it is. It's like a nice peachy shimmer color, but the mattes just didn't do it for me at all. They're like very patchy and not consistent. So this for me is a real fail. I just wanted to love these colors over here, but they just didn't do it for me at all. What's the Tea is a nice matte, but then you get the others that just don't work, like Nate and Wake and Bake. So it's really not consistent with a Jeffree Star palette that you would expect Jeffree Star to have. But then again, it is with Morphe, but I mean, for 1,500 rand, it's just not worth the money and really disappointing. So that's that for my fails of 2021. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.